I'm Cliff Cardinal, actor, cultural sensitivity workshop leader, and NASA climate scientist. And this is Landback for Canadians. My phone. I'm just looking for my phone over here. I am standing on the mighty banks of the Madsen River during salmon spawning season, where behind me, millions of fish make sweet consensual love to each other in frenzied orgy in the middle of the day. In high-pitched radio frequencies so tiny that only a salmon can hear, the Starland Vocal Band performs Afternoon Delight as fish touch each other's hands, gaze into each other's eyes, talk dirty. But that's not what I came to speak about today. That's not even what I want to think about. And that's not the Madsen River. This is some other river that can't immediately be tied to an oil and gas company. Also, if that were really the Madsen, I might have been shot by the RCMP by now for interfering with mining interests. Or just because it's their 150th birthday month and they want to celebrate the old-fashioned way. If that were the Madsen, I might have drowned by now. The undertow would be strong enough to carry me away even on dry land. No, I'm a city Indian. I can't hunt, I can't fish, I can't fashion a kayak. The sweat lodge makes me claustrophobic. I'll just tell you. This is High Park, a place where you might take a date, but where you'd never swim unless you wanted to die of typhoid. We're here today to discuss Landback. Now, it's muddy. My shoes are new. Can we go around? I'm gonna go around. It's just muddy. Landback is not some hypothetical concept designed to make white people feel bad about having things. White people shouldn't need a hypothetical concept for that. No, Landback is a decentralized campaign seeking to re-establish Indigenous sovereignty. And you know what, Canadians? You should be into that too. Now, to put Landback into context, I'd like to talk a little bit about colonization. Yes, colonization, the word that makes the eyes roll of the innocent yet benefiting descendants of the dead white man for whom this country was founded. Canada, colonization is, and this is a history lesson, about the British, and the French, and an unforgiving Canadian climate. This stars musket balls, courageous heroes, and there's a little bit about smallpox. So kick your shoes off, put your feet in the fire. We're gonna take you all the way back to a quaint time, way back in the year now. Today, this morning. Colonization is happening as we speak. Water is being polluted. Animals are dying. Never mind people. We get a little finicky about whether or not we care about people dying, but think about the animals. A baby bear, it looks kind of like a dog. And don't say that's history. Don't hide behind history like, well, history is the story of one civilization displacing another. Sure, I get the point. I see what you're saying, that human beings are a hateful, warmongering, genocidal people, and that's to be celebrated. That's also an uncultured and unsophisticated viewpoint. The tide of history is the reason that we don't feel bad about extinct societies from tens of thousands of years ago. Sure, great to the 100th power uncle was a great guy. We don't care that he's dead. That's the tide of history. That's not acceptable social policy for your relations with Indigenous people today. We're not an extinct society from tens of thousands of years ago. We're right here. There's 1.8 million of us. For comparison, 1.8 million people, that's the size of Edmonton and Hamilton. Are you gonna just ignore Edmonton and Hamilton? Of course you are, Edmonton and Hamilton are brutally difficult places to care about. That don't make it right. There's 1.8 million Indigenous people in this country. I'm looking right at you. I see you, Tim. I see you, Steve. I see you, Trevor, fashioning your second pair of truck nuts onto your Dodge Ram. I see you, Suzanne, holding court in the Tim Hortons parking lot like you're an expert on tax codes, advocating for eugenics to be taught in public schools. Look, I get that there are some people who are just too racist to hear any of this. Some people are too racist, they turned the video off a long time ago. But that's not you. Right, Canada? That's not you. You're capable of accepting an experience that's not on your own terms every single time. You're capable of shifting your viewpoint. You can go with the flow. They don't got the Boston cream? You get the chocolate dip. Easy. Well, some of you live on land sold to you by the Canadian government that was not theirs to sell. You live in, say, Ottawa. Ottawa! Bold move, Ottawa! Building your capital on unceded land? Message received, loud and clear. Canada don't give a Some of you side with oil and gas companies over water protectors because why? Because they look different from you. Or because you like filling up your truck with increasingly expensive diesel. Colonizers are not called the British anymore, or white people. Now they're mining companies, chemical companies. They're the Canadian government. They're oil and mining and gas companies with inspiring names that remind us of grizzly bears in bad weather. They tear through your backyard with bulldozers and wheels of death dump trucks 2 stories high, screaming through bullhorns that they can dig under a river and not change the taste of the water. Well, the oil leaks, Canada. It spills. I'm not talking sweet, sexy, consensual oil. I'm talking non-consensual, spurt into your delta and drip down your estuaries oil. What stands between oil and mining and gas companies and the poisoning of our natural water? Water protectors. Indigenous communities. Indigenous communities are 5% of the population but protect 80% of the world's biodiversity. Call me a stupid fucking Indian, but I think that's of value to everyone. Landback is not an issue of extinct societies. Landback is a self-interest issue for you, Canada. This is for you. Take the fish behind me, who by now have brought out whips and chains to pleasure and tantalize each other into the evening. These fish could be gone tomorrow. Half of all sea life has died in the last 50 years. Imagine, it's the 1970s. A couple of salmon are sitting in their mirrored den on their carpet of rec room brown, wearing shirts with impossibly wide lapels, maybe discussing popping another quaalude, when a man in an orange vest protected by the RCMP walks in and shoots one of them in the head. Dead. The other fish is traumatized too. She's just witnessed her partner murdered before her very eyes. There were no reliable psychiatry options in the 1970s. She had to pick up the pieces and move on with her life. These salmon, they don't want a repeat of the last 50 years. These salmon are just like you. They want to have meaningful lives. They want to feel beloved. They want to pass on their memories and to be together in times of uncertainty. They laugh. They look up at the stars and wonder. They say tearful goodbyes. They throw surprise parties. They go on blind dates. They get nervous when they see other fish in the sea, and they hope their friends and their family will be okay. Their hearts break. They shed their skin. Do fish shed skin? Do we know? Well, people do, or they should. We need to. If we can't shed some of the Canadian jingoism that has us teetering towards the brink of annihilation, we're going to lose some of the really important iconography of this land, like fish. And please, Canada, help these fish keep and keep yourself. That's not what I mean to say is if we don't stand up for the planet and for ourselves, we too will be history.